How do you envision technology playing a role in your growth, fan engagement? What role do you see AI playing here?
I see a much more increased effort for interactiveness. The fan, whether they're here, they want to be interactive, whether they're in another country or another city, it's all about interactive. It's about collecting data, it's about sharing data, and it's about speed. And I think once you can combine those things together, then the sky's the limit.
Goal's 24 teams, and we're 14 teams, and its expansion is really active right now. So the next 3 to 5 years, we will be 24 teams. We will be on a national platform. We will have gaming. We'll have all the things that the big league has, and that's the goal. We're not trying to be the big league by any means, but we're definitely trying to set our own standard.
Hi everyone. We're at the Frontwave Arena, and today marks the beginning of the IFL season. For those of you wondering what IFL is, it's the Indoor Football League. It's the first game today between the San Diego Strikeforce and the Vegas Nighthawks. And it seems like so far the San Diego Strikeforce is winning. My name is Shruti, and I am the Director of Marketing at Proximity Works. Today, I'm going to be joined by the founder and CEO of Proximity Works. We're also going to sit down with Todd, who's the commissioner of the IFL. Josh, the owner of the Frontwave Arena, who also owns the San Diego Sockers. Wilson, owner of San Diego Strikeforce, and Geno, the general manager of San Diego Strikeforce. And today, with all of these people in the house, we're going to get answers to a lot more questions. We're going to talk about how technology and AI is changing fan engagement and fan experiences. And we hope you enjoy this conversation. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Josh, Wilson, Hardik. Thank you so much for joining us here today. For the audience, I'd like to just tell everyone that we're sitting here at the Frontwave Arena. A brand new arena which started back in September 2024, so it's just a few months old. And today marks the beginning of the game season. San Diego Strikeforce is playing against Vegas Nighthawks. And so far, San Diego is winning. And I think all of us here are really happy about that. For the audience, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Josh Elias. I'm co-founder and CEO of Frontwave Arena. And this is
Our arena that we're sitting in.
it's our arena. Yes, it is.
Thank you for letting us be here.
Thank you for being here. This is fantastic.
And you also run the San Diego Clippers and the San Diego Sockers.
We do. We run the San Diego Clippers, and we are part of the ownership of the San Diego Sockers, which is the indoor soccer team here.
Great. So for people who don't know, San Diego Strikeforce is an indoor football team, and the San Diego Clippers is a basketball team, and Sockers is a soccer team. And how long have you been, trying to put this together, the arena and the teams?
It took about three years to get this project done, but in concept, it was about a 7-year process. Mm-hmm. It's a privately funded and operated arena, which is not typical in the industry. You see a lot of municipality-owned facilities, but this was done by a group of investors and real estate developers, and here we are today.
I'm really grateful because this is the first time I've been part of any live game of any kind.
How does it feel?
The energy is insane. I love it.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you. Wilson. So the San Diego Strikeforce is your team. You recently bought into the team.
Yes, so I was introduced to the San Diego Strikeforce about 2.5 years ago, actually, and for a different role. Mm-hmm. And then about a year and a half later, started looking at it, and I said to myself, you know what? I went to a couple of the games. I'm like, wow, it's incredible. So it's like a combination of, hockey, rugby, gladiator, and football at the same time. So I fell in love with it, and I said to myself, you know what? I really want to participate and be part of it. So I decided to buy into the team. So I bought it with Geno. And here we are, our first game, and I'm looking forward to a long, successful, and hopefully we win tonight, which looks like we will, and looking forward to the journey.
How did you land up in all of this?
And by the way, I just want to say, he's going to be part owner too.
Okay. All right.
So I just let it leak.
There you go.
Addiction. Okay.
It's good for everyone.
We've been fortunate enough to work in sports and media for the past 6 years since The company started in 2019, and I think we've worked with some of the biggest names, including over the past 6 years. And arena football is something entirely new to me. And the first time I came here, I was watching Josh's team playing basketball. And
Clippers.
Clippers. Yeah, and it was it was a one of a kind experience. I hadn't witnessed that kind of energy in a small environment before, and I think this is a different place in my heart, and I'm very excited for Wilson, and very excited for the season to start today.
Great. And we're winning, so I can see the score. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I have some fun questions for everyone. Okay, so this is probably for the both of you. Owning a team is probably, it's a roller coaster ride. And you are part owners in two of them. You own
One team,
Yes.
and then we manage the other team. Yeah.
What's the biggest surprise that you probably didn't expect when you thought, oh, I'm going to own a sports team? I'm going to buy a sports team.
How do you feel? Hey, I think the biggest thing is you're thinking about the fan experience. I mean, really, there's a lot of components to putting this on, and the most important is the fan. Without the fan, this doesn't exist. Like we talked about, winning cures a lot of things, but really, the fans here for entertainment, for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, we're very fan-centric here, and, I think that's the nucleus on how we operate our teams, and we know these guys over here are doing the same, and that's what we look for here at Frontwave Arena, is to make sure we have the right, culture and why we're doing these things, and it really does come back to the fan.
Yep. And what about you, Wilson?
This is my first venture into sports,
Yeah.
right? As far as owning a team. I'm a serial entrepreneur, first of all. So it intrigued me and excited me about learning about owning a sport business as opposed to other businesses that I've done in the past. At the same time, I love the venture, right? I love creating something from what I touch. But at the same time, it's a legacy for me. So, it's all about my family, my kids, and what kind of legacy am I going to leave them? And I feel that this league is about, although it's been around for a little bit, but I feel that it's very in position to excel in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, right?
Yep.
So, it's a legacy play, it's a passion play, and love of the game, right? Love of business, love of the game. So, yeah.
Lovely. So Josh mentioned that it's all about the fan engagement, the fan experience. And Wilson mentioned that it's, the legacy and the love of the sport. But how does AI and technology kind of intertwine into the space? And what is proximity doing in this space?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think most people are still, while there are more people watching NFL and NBA than ever, but the overall viewership has been declining in linear TV and traditional forms of television. And I think fans are still watching those games, but they're watching and consuming it in different forms and on different platforms. So for all teams, leagues, and I think all sports teams owners, it's a priority right now to figure out how to go more digital and how to serve fans where they are actually spending the most time, which is on social media. So under 25, I think 85% of folks under 25 don't watch live sports. They're actually consuming it under like match highlights and behind the scenes content on social media. And I think the teams need to really take up the mantle today and just spend more time in creating that kind of content, and that's what we're trying to help teams do more efficiently. So I think AI this is a manpower problem right now, because you can only create so much content depending on the kind of the size of the team that you have with your content and editing team, right? And with AI, a lot of that can be automated. And that's what we're building essentially with our proprietary platform called MetaVision. It takes in the entire match clip content for the last 3 hours and churns out hundreds of small pieces of content that you can use on your different social media platforms, including the team's platform, the league's platforms, and individual athletes as well, and start amplifying the reach and increase fan engagement overall for everyone.
How people are not watching the whole thing, but they're also watching smaller portions, and not everyone is coming down to go in person. But people want to. How do you think that?
I mean, this is about the experience.
Yeah.
It's about moments. You know, you're watching the whole thing, but you're consuming only so much, and you're remembering those moments. And what I think what's happening here is what with the direction that it should go. You know, this is about moments and absorbing and reproducing that. And I think what you're doing is the way to go in the future. And every sports franchise venue, any business is going to adapt to that. And I really can't wait to see how this interactively works. And, you know, we're all for it. We have the ability to be flexible in how we operate the building and having great creative ways to do it with entrepreneurs like we all are. And that's really the culture here. And, you know, we're here for the long run with you guys. We love it.
Incredible to hear that because he owns the arena and he wants people to come in.
Yeah.
But he's also agreeing to the idea that more and more people need to still be able to consume it digitally. Right?
They do. I mean, we have, you know, 2,000-3,000 people at a game, but it doesn't mean that not more than, you know, that can consume it. I mean, there's, you know, 100,000 to a million people watching this through memories. And I think what you're doing is sharing that on a platform, creating that. Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't matter whether it's the youth or older families. I mean, it all gets consumed the same now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And especially, I think,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's all about the fans in the end, what they want, right? And I feel that fans need to be connected more to the game even after the match is done. And that's where I think this can play a key role for you. And plus, I think you can only have so many people in an arena. I have some of my friends who are biggest fans of American football back home in India, where I'm originally from. And they can't really go to the stadium and watch it, right? But with technology today, with VR and AR glasses, I think they can actually experience the arena today, sitting in their home, and still have the same experience. And it can be the same. The technology can be powered by you.
Probably better, like live. You know?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you get to feel these moments yourselves as owners of this team.
Yeah.
You're coming to work every day, and this is your job.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, you know, business is hard.
Yeah.
Every business is hard. But what we're doing here is very...
Thrilling to see that people here coming out here having.
Yes, definitely.
There's a lot of gratification, and I think coming from the first game all the way to the end of the season and all these seasons to come, you know, it's going to be a very fun ride for everybody, including us here at the arena.
Love it. So, for audiences who don't know, what is IFL? What is indoor football? What is indoor soccer? And how is it different from the NFL that is more at least globally?
I mean, this is electric. We own the San Diego Sockers, which is the indoor soccer team, and a lot of people haven't been raised on indoor soccer, but everybody's familiar with soccer worldwide. And really, the sport is the sport, but this becomes very fast. It becomes very quick, and it doesn't stop. And there's not a lot of intermission in between plays. So the same thing on the soccer side you see on the football side. You know, there's no out of bounds here. There's a lot of activity, very quick, and it's very exciting for the fan. And that's why you feel the electricity. You're putting everything in a 2-hour period, and you have to make it as exciting as possible. And I think indoor sports does that, hits it right on the head. It's great.
Lovely. All right, we're going to ask some more fun questions. What's one behind-the-scenes challenge of running a football team or a soccer team or basketball team that people wouldn't know about or fans wouldn't really know about?
So, I can tell you this from brand new experience, right? So we just took it over 6 months ago. And in the last 2 months, along with myself, with our whole management staff, Geno, it's literally something that you cannot even you would not even think of all of the detail that needs to be, you know, looked upon. So it's so much to do, especially the last few weeks. I mean, you know, you're learning. For me, you know, I'm learning about the business, first time ownership, and I cannot believe I have to literally teach myself to be, you know, kindergarten to go to college and getting a PhD in a very short period of time, right? But it's exciting. It's very exciting. That's why I love it. You know, I've been in business for a very long time, and I love this one because it's new. I'm learning a lot of things, and meeting a lot of great people, and just the other thing is, this is a league that it is definitely not the NFL. We'll hopefully get that recognition sometime in the future, but right now it's for families. It's inexpensive, but everybody can participate in it. And it's for community, especially community. Right now we're in San Diego, Oceanside. I live an hour from here in Orange County, but it's for everybody, not just the elite or not the elite, just the NFL, which is so big, right? So it's great for families, so.
And you mentioned that if there was a concert here on Saturday night, and then yesterday there was a basketball game.
Soccer game.
And today, now there's a brand new field over here, and it's the football game.
Yeah.
So how crazy is it again, for you? What are the kind of behind-the-scenes challenges that fans don't really understand, but...
The work's been done. I mean, we show up on game day, and you guys will see this as you go along, is we're not making decisions right now. The work was done all week. And to be able to prepare for these moments, you're putting on something that lasts only a few hours, but it takes many days to prepare for it.
And it's an army of people who are putting in a lot of...
It's an army of people, and it comes from every angle, whether it's security, food and beverage, hospitality, partnerships, but everything, merchandise, you name it, technology. I mean, you think about how this gets put on, and
a lot of manpower,
and women power, and it all comes down to your team, and these guys have built a fantastic team, and we love to see new ownership come in and fresh faces, because this is all new and it's exciting, right? I mean, you're not bored at whatever industry you were from. I was not from this industry as well. This was my first experience going through the process, but every day is exciting. I'm not burned out, and I think you guys bring that same energy to this, and it's really exciting to see.
That's definitely.
Thank you.
I know you're the owner of the arena, and you own a team as well, but I know you as a very data-driven guy. So how do you envision technology playing a role in your growth, in fan engagement, and what role do you see AI playing here?
I see a much more increased effort for interactiveness. The fan, whether they're here, they want to be interactive, whether they're in another country or another city, it's all about interactive. It's about collecting data, it's about sharing data, and it's about speed. And I think once you can combine those things together, then the sky's the limit. We don't know yet what it really means. None of us do. Yeah. But we come in every day, and you'll see it'll evolve every time you plug in technology, whether it's using AI or it's just the simple trade of just bringing the technology to a game. Every day you'll see something new, and I think it's going to just continue to increase.
Here we go. And it's evolving every single day.
Absolutely.
It's great to see that you're embracing it, even though you own a physical space. Like I'm reiterating, it's great to see his outlook on things.
Sure.
What's the toughest decision that you had to make as a team owner? Again, to both.
Pulling the trigger. Financially, commitment, and everything that comes along with the analytics of opening up another business, let alone something that I don't know anything about, right? Other than playing it. So it took me a good, like I said, I was introduced to this 2.5 years ago, and here I am. So, yeah, but pulling the trigger was the hardest for me anyway, so.
Every decision you make here impacts something, right? And
something and someone. And again, I agree. Making the decision to be a part of a new industry and a new venture that you don't know about, but it's about intuition, and none of us would be here if it wasn't for that, right? And this is a legacy play for most sports owners or facility owners. This is a business, but really it's about the long-term, plan. And I think making the decision is the hardest.
Yeah, I mean, glorification is one thing, but the risk involved with that is astronomical, right? So it's I own a football team. Yeah, but the risk associated with that,
Yep.
you know, and everything else is, you know,
But you get instant gratification in this industry.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what's nice. You get to come here and see your product.
Yeah.
You know, you're not counting the register. You're here to watch it. You know whether you're successful when you're here and you feel it. That's really what you get to take away from
Especially
being
when
a
you
part of
win.
this. Especially when you win. And we will win.
yes, definitely.
So, if you could recruit any athlete into your team for football, for soccer, for basketball, would you recruit any player?
Everybody clap your hands.
Oh my God. I'm from
All
Philly.
Eagle fans, I bet. All Eagle fans. I'll tell you what I see is we love, because we are a smaller franchise, we bring back a lot of the legacy players from these teams, and we do that with the San Diego Sockers. You can see all the jerseys on the wall and championships here, and alumni nights are fantastic, and you embrace those because you're bringing back the people who built those franchises. And same with the San Diego Clippers. This was once home of the San Diego Clippers, and it now is again. And so bringing back all the legacy Clipper players and coaches, it brings those fans with them. And I think you'll see the same thing with football.
Yes.
You have a Charger shirt on today. This is a very big San Diego Charger community, and a lot of people still have that near and dear to their heart. And you're going to see that with folks like Stevie Johnson, who's here today, participating as a part of your team. And I think that's a big thing, and just embracing that part of it.
We're not picking an athlete. We're not picking favorites.
I'm not picking athletes.
Not picking favorites.
Not my forte, but I'm sure he'd love to have anybody out here who can run fast and hit hard.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
What's your vision for how arenas and live sports experiences will change in the next decade?
I think technology is a big piece of it, but I also think the venue's ability to enhance the experience and just bring a different level of entertainment to the games. You're playing 8 home games. We play 12 home games for soccer, 24 for basketball. And you have to create a new experience. The in-game experience is very important, and you have to create, and you have to be creative. And that, I think, as teams develop, as leagues develop, that in-game experience has a lot to do with technology, but it has a lot to do with the people behind it.
Yeah.
For our teams, we have a great team behind our in-game production. You guys do as well. And I think just being creative and bringing in the community to it is how these teams survive and how they grow.
We have the commissioner here. We should get him.
I'm going to switch spots with him.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi again. Welcome, Geno, and welcome, Todd. We've been chatting for a bit, so I just want to, congratulate you for being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and thank you for all your contributions as a player, as a coach, as an owner, as a commissioner now. How does it feel?
No, it's pretty good for just getting to know me. It's like anything. I mean, you surround yourself with good people and great things happen. And been in the industry for 25 years, and as a player for 5, a coach for 4, and owned the team for 10, and now in my 6th season as commissioner. It's just it's fun to build an environment that people want to be a part of, and I think that's any. Business is, success to business is build something that, you attract people to, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
I think what's fascinating is that you've been in the game at every level, where you've started off being a player, then a coach, so you understand every aspect of it. So when you're now the commissioner, you're probably doing your best to make sure it's a win-win for everyone involved. So I think that's my understanding of it. Geno, it's been a crazy week, month, day. Yeah.
He hasn't slept, by the way.
Yeah, you haven't slept. How's it been? It's the opening day for San Diego Strike Force. You've been preparing for a long time for this. Thoughts, feelings, emotions at this point?
Yeah. There's been a lot of anticipation moving in the new venue. So a lot of unknowns too, as we transfer from an older venue into this newer one, where there's a lot of bells and whistles. There's a lot that's great, but again, a lot of unknowns. So our team, we've got a great broadcast team. We've got a great operations team. it's just finding that mesh. So, there's always a bit of a learning curve and some bumps, but we made it this far. We're into the second half, so.
And we're winning.
So that's good. So, I think it's gone well. I just try to help out my team so that we can kind of put our best foot forward as an organization and just kind of do what we can. So it's been good.
Love it. Do you have a favorite player? If you could maybe recruit any player into your team. On my, if you can recruit any player, do you have someone in mind? Do you play favorites at all?
I do not.
Do not play. Do you have a favorite team in the IFL?
No.
No, not at all. Can't.
14 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, 14 of them. I got 14
Yes.
favorite teams, and yeah, absolutely.
What are the biggest challenges of the commissioner of the IFL that people probably don't know about? Challenges to maybe fill up the stands, challenges to maybe helping other team owners who want to fill up the stands. Tell us a little bit more.
I think the challenges are just, we've got 14 ownership groups, which means we got 14 head coaches, we got 125 officials, we got 450 players, and, everybody wants something different at times. I think the biggest challenges, especially as we get the season going, is, making sure that the broadcasts look good and the stats pages are up and, the websites. And, there's a lot of big things that we're building towards, and, we've got to be looking the part to grab the attention of the people that we're after. And so, it's no different than Geno, works his butt off, all day. And there's so many things behind the scenes that only he's going to notice isn't working. The casual fan won't notice. That's kind of what's cool about it. But, Geno done a great job, unbelievable. I know it's really tough putting on a show like this, but here we are.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. And so all day, I'll have 50 different people will come up with 100 different questions. And, again, first one here, nobody else has experience here. So the first, hey, what do we do? Okay. When we address it and we move forward and we get through, and it's, it is that there are things that we would have liked to have happened in the presentation and a lot of that I know didn't come off. The thousands of people out there seem to be having a good time, so it's okay. But I strive every week is let's do better for them. Yeah. So a big one of this new venue, better fan experience. So we engage with our community because that's what keeps us going and keeps us sustainable. So football is the vehicle that we get to be a community organization. So
Bring people together.
yeah, and then with the players at this level, it's all about trying to help get them to the next level or develop them in whatever way it is that they need that development. So if it's guys on the way up still chasing the dream, whatever we can do to help get them there. If it's guys on the other way that are like, hey, I'm still into this, let's play or whatever, say, hey, while you're here and this is your platform, let's use it to find a way to make a difference in the community that we're in. So if they stay here and do it with us, great. If they move on somewhere else and go back home or anywhere else, hopefully they'll take that and do good back there as well.
Everything you said sounds very selfless, though. It sounds very selfless. Everything is saying like he wants to help the community and the people and the players, but the way you're working that hard is... Hardik, you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I had a question for Todd, actually. So I wanted to know what are the IFL's goals for growth and fan engagement over the next 5 years? And how do you think technology can play a role in that?
So, the goal is 24 teams.
Yeah.
And we're at 14 teams, and its expansion is really active right now.
Yeah.
And so, the next 3 to 5 years, we will be 24 teams. We will be on a national platform. We will have gaming. We'll have all the things that the big league has. And, that's the goal. We're not trying to be the big league by any means, but we're definitely trying to set our own standard.
How do you think technology can play a role in your growth and in fan engagement?
Technology is evolving daily.
Yeah.
We're already behind from what it was 2 weeks ago, and it's just crazy. Like our video technology that we're using, it's all AI built, and it's like, building a robot, you're teaching it how to work, and it's probably already outdated by now. I don't know, but technology is going to be a huge thing. Surrounding yourself with people who's in it is probably going to be even a bigger thing. But yeah,
Let me ask you a question. So, your progress in the next 2 to 5 years, how do you think you're progressing towards that goal of 24 teams? As of today,
very, very strong. I mean,
Nice.
it's and you got to be careful. You don't, when you expand, you don't want to be bringing on brand new teams because you've only got so much bandwidth to support them.
Sure.
But what we've really seen trending here lately is some of these teams that they already have teams in other sports.
Sure.
And so they've got the infrastructure in place, and so to pick up
Right.
our product is a pretty easy transition. And so those are really the ones we're targeting, and that's the ones that we've got their attention right now.
what would you say you're, as a team owner and as a league, what do you think that we can help with to promote that, right? Because everybody's a business owner in other industries and everything else, right? So what can we help you with as far as promoting it? You know what I'm saying? As individuals, that owners of these 14 teams, right? We know so many people. Our network is so vast, right? What can we do to help?
So there's
To promote that.
two things, Wilson. I'm glad you asked. Number one is putting on a first-class presentation. That's really where it starts is at home, taking care of your own house, making sure that the field looks good and the presentation look good and the players are acting right and you got fans in the seats and you're putting on a good show. That's where it all starts. If I've got 14 teams that are doing that,
Yeah.
there's going to be people knocking at our door.
Sure.
And what was the second one?
Yeah. What
The other thing that you guys,
what can we help? Well, how can we help you promote it? Because of our vast network, right?
and that's what it is not being afraid to open up your network to the league, introducing
Definitely.
us, to people who have contacts.
Sure.
This world's all about contacts.
I mean, we all have contacts all over the United States, but a lot of us have contacts internationally that would love to open up a team, right? Whether it's this or other, you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
I would love to be, helpful in that.
Well,
somehow.
Wilson, we would take all the help we can get.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in.
I think one of the things that I do well, and the reason so Proximity is a group of 5 companies now. So started in 2019 helping sports media and entertainment companies scale internationally. And last 2 years have been all about AI. And we started working in AI before ChatGPT came out, so we're pretty early in that space. And before the entire wave took off. And one of the key things I feel even NBA is facing right now, even NFL is facing, is the declining viewership in traditional linear TV and live sports watch. But most of the fans are still watching it, but consuming it in different forms, right? And they are watching social media clips, they're watching highlights on social media, they're consuming athlete-specific content, sponsor-specific content that they want to be connected with. And one thing that we are doing right now is helping leagues and teams do that really well. So we take up the long-form content of the match, and we put that in our AI engine, and it churns out a lot of high-quality short-form content that you can use on the league social media platforms, the team social media platforms, and even the individual athletes. Because I, as a fan, would want to watch my favorite athlete more when I'm watching a highlight reel instead of just the key moments from the match, right? Because I follow that person for a specific reason. So I personally wear a lot of Under Armour gear, and the only reason I buy that is because of Dwayne Johnson, and I love him working out. So I don't actually go to underarmour.com and buy it, but I look at Dwayne Johnson working out in certain gear, and then I want it. And that's what fans want today. So that is what we're trying to bridge the gap between consuming live match content in different forms and integrating the commerce angle there, where you can do live shopping while the match is on, so that you can buy the gear that the athlete is wearing and stay more connected even after the match is done. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, I watch him myself, so he's pretty contagious. But Wilson, it's opening the door to people like this that obviously know more than we know in areas, and we can't get enough relationships like you.
That's why when I met him, I'm like, holy cow, this guy's a perfect for us, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a very good friend of Dave Meltzer, and that's how we met each other. So Dave, I'm promoting you, baby. So anyway, yeah, so he's a very dear friend of mine, and that's how we met. And I'm just looking forward to a lot of great things. Guys, I hate to do this, but I want to end it for myself anyway, because this is my first game, and I want to watch the rest of it for my team. If that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What's a game day ritual or
I have
superstition?
no idea what you said.
What's a game day superstition or ritual for you?
I didn't have one until now. You should not have asked me that.
Do you have one?
I don't know. I wear the same
Rapid
underwear.
fire. Do you have a game day ritual?
I don't got time for that anymore.
Anyway,
Do you?
I hope you don't mind.
No
I'm
longer?
Okay?
Or never had?
Guys, I hope
Okay.
you don't
Yeah.
mind. I really
We're
want to
good.
watch the last one. My kids and my family's here.
We're winning anyway.
All
So
right.
Yeah.
thank you all of
We'll
you.
do another one with my kids.
Yeah.
Thank you all of you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Folks like to play.
Pleasure
Now.
being there. We'll be in touch.
I want to thank Hardik, Josh, Todd, Wilson, Geno for joining us here today and answering all these questions so patiently, because all of them just wanted to sit out there and watch the game, but we made them sit here and talk, and it was really enlightening, and we hope you all enjoy this conversation.